Pull up to the pregame. Yeah, yeah. Pull up to the pregame. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Hey, hey. Pull up to the pregame. Yeah, yeah. Pull up to the pregame. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Hey, hey. Catch a vibe.
Yo, what's up? What's poppin'? Welcome back to another pregame podcast. We lit, we live, and while you at it, like, comment, and subscribe. We in the building. Welcome back, everybody. It's your boy Carlo, aka
What you talking about? It's LO.
We out here. Welcome back to the pregame podcast. For all the people who are pregame gang, we appreciate y'all. Welcome back. For those who are new, welcome to the pregame podcast. We go live every Thursday around 7:30. This is your fusion of sports and pop culture. You don't find a lot of places like this around here. So make sure y'all hit that like button, comment, let me know who's in the building. I see the energy already. I see the comments already. We got a fun one for y'all today. And then subscribe. It's a free way to support the podcast. We're growing. We're at over 300 subscribers right now, on the road to 500. Trying to get that YouTube partner program. Help us out. Tell a friend to pull up on the pregame. For those who are here, who are always here, the pregame gang.
Hey, say gang.
We appreciate y'all pulling up. All right. So, Shot and Vesta should be here pretty soon. We had a long week. We had a lot going on, but if you are not new here, you already know I'm about to say, so go ahead and drop those responses in the chat. If you are new here, one thing we always start off with the pregame podcast is what you're pulling up with. So if you've ever been to a pregame before, you never come to a pregame empty-handed. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're going over somebody else's house. You never go empty-handed. You always got to pull up with something, right? Here at the pregame podcast, we don't want you to pull up with anything that's tangible. We just want to see how your week was, what kind of energy, what kind of vibe you pulling up with, right? So I want to hear what y'all pulling up with. For me, I'm pulling up with energy. I'm pulling with good vibes. I'm pulling up with blessings, all those different things. It's been a long week. As y'all see, I don't have my glasses. Somebody broke my glasses, y'all. Somebody broke my glasses, man. But it's okay. We're going to get some new ones. I can still see. I can still drive. All those different things. I just look a little different, but it's all good. So I want to know, what are y'all pulling up with? All right. What was your week like? What type of energy, what type of vibe you pulling up with, right? As you all saw, as you all dropping those things in the chat, you may have saw the YouTube thumbnail. You probably saw the episode title called The Fall Off, right? So a lot of different reasons why I'm calling it The Fall Off. One, my boy J. Cole had Dreamville, the 5th year. Shout out to J. Cole. And he got an album he's coming out with called The Fall Off. But then also, if you saw the people that were on that YouTube thumbnail with him, we're going to talk a little bit about Mike Malone getting fired as the Denver Nuggets head coach. We're also going to talk a lot today about some of the polarizing players in the draft, right? And my question to the chat and my question to everybody, and we're going to answer it here on the pregame, is with some of these players that we'll talk about, is it truly draft fatigue, where we've been talking about the draft for months now, and you just look at film so much to the point where you just don't know whether you like this person anymore? Or is it that the truth is starting to truly unveil itself, right? We heard a lot of news today about some players like Isaiah Bond, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. But I want to kind of have that conversation tonight because, I don't know, it's a mix of both in my opinion, right? So we're going to get a little bit into that. Also, you already know how I'm going to start. I got to start off with the pregame reacts, right? So I got some things that we're going to react to when Vashti gets here. Y'all think, okay, so Vashti wasn't here last week. She's been stupid busy, right? She was on the March Madness Oregon Trail, right? Like everywhere Duke or North Carolina went, she was there. But yeah, so I think that I would love to get her opinion on one of the YN R&B songs. What y'all think about that? I think I want to do a YN, only one. We had 3 last week. We're not going to go through all 3 with her, but I want to get one YN R&B song with her when she gets here. I think that'd be fire. So hopefully we can get her to react to one. All right, so let me see. Hey, that's funny. That's funny. Not oh no, Arthur. I ain't blind. Chill out. You know, I know that episode when Arthur broke his glass. Chill on me. Chill on me. Oh, shout out to my pops. Pulling up with Luda. All right, so thank you for throwing that in there because I want to let y'all know what the starting lineup tonight is, right? Starting lineup tonight is top 5 Ludacris songs. All right. One other reason why I put J. Cole on that particular. What's wrong with my system? Okay, here we go. One reason I put J. Cole on the thumbnail is because Luda actually performed at Dreamville, and this year is his 25th anniversary in the rap game. 25 years, right? I basically grew up with Luda, right? So maybe I'm biased in terms of how I'm going to talk about him tonight when we discuss Luda. But I want y'all to go, as you're listening in to the Pregame podcast, I want y'all to go to the catalog, go to Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, whatever you use, right? Or go to your Google. And I want y'all to find out what you feel as though is your top 5 Ludacris songs, right? And I'm not saying top 5 all time of like, you know, what Complex says or what Double XL says or what any of the other places. What is your top 20? What is your top 5, right? And your top 5 is your top 5 for whatever reason it may be, right? You know, just because we got a podcast, we can explain why that particular song is our top 5, but I'm curious to hear yours as well. We love to engage with the audience here at the Pregame podcast, so let me know what y'all rocking with, right? All right, so Olivia, shout out to Olivia. She said she's pulling up ready for spring break. It's around the corner. So shout out to you. Shout out to all the teachers out there who are grinding. We salute y'all for sure. Y'all are trying me today. I got called Arthur. I got called Velma. Y'all on one today. Y'all are on one today. No, I can still see. I'm not blind. All right. I'm not legally blind. We are good. I just look different. It's all good. All right. So we're going to get into some of the reactions first. So let's start off with that first. So one thing I want to say, we talked about this before already on the podcast around, I think we talked about it last week, if not last week, the following week, but we talked about how the leagues, whether it's NFL or NBA, we talk about how they are becoming a lot more strict when it comes to celebrations, whether it's touchdown celebrations, first down celebrations, 3-pointer celebrations, dunk celebrations, whatever it is. They are starting to try their best to get hip with the culture, if you will, and make sure that nothing is either violence related or gang related in terms of celebrations, right? We talked about how CeeDee Lamb, he had the ill. First off, his celebration was fire, right? The first down, wipe the nose. They go ahead. They went up. They already banned the wipe the nose thing. And now in the NBA, they are like, hey, no one can point, the 3-point, the gun, and all those different things. I get it. I understand it. I'll just leave it at that point. But if everybody knows Ja Morant, right? Ja Morant has been a very popular NBA player in multiple different ways, whether it's on or off the court. He's been in a very polarizing player, if you will. Talented, dumb talented player. But he has been fined a few times for like his gun celebration. But my boy said, you know what? Forget the guns. You know what? I'm leaving the guns away. I'm leaving the guns alone, and I'm trying a different celebration. Check this out. Yo, my dog said, you know what? I'm gonna try a bomb. I'm gonna throw a grenade. This man literally shot the 3. Let's run it back, man.
Run that back, Turbo.
Threw the grenade and covered his ears, bruh. What's this, Call of Duty? Like, what we doing, Ja? Threw the grenade to the fans, bro. And the funny thing about this was in Charlotte, y'all. They were playing the Charlotte Hornets. So he threw it, like, he didn't do it at home. So he didn't try to, like, throw a bomb at his own fans. He threw the bomb in Charlotte, y'all. This is crazy. This is like Call of Duty vibes. Like, slow it down. He hit the 3. Nice shot. bites the grenade, and then throws it in the crowd. And it was like, cover your ears. That is wild, yo. I wonder what will happen. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going to happen here. But it was very, very interesting to see him do that. I was shocked. I was utterly shocked. All right. What do y'all think about that? Do y'all think that this is worth a fine? If the NBA is trying to really be strict on what the celebrations look like, you throwing a grenade in the fan. Now, granted, if y'all watching the Lakers game last night, no, a few days ago, Luka got kicked out because of for what did he get kicked out for? Oh, for yelling at the fan, but the ref thought he was yelling at the ref. He get kicked out for it. We'll see what happens with Ja Morant in this. I'm curious to see what's gonna happen, but I see a lot of people already in the chat saying fine loading. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. I thought it was it was creative, but we'll see what happens to Ja on that one, bro. Another thing. So speaking of fans and fan interactions, I saw this clip on social media of David Robinson. So if you don't know who David Robinson is, you may be a little younger. It's okay. David Robinson is an NBA legend, played for the San Antonio Spurs. And he was at some particular function. It might have been like a nice little meet and greet in San Antonio. And this particular function was for him to meet fans and take pictures, right? Now, it's a long line for him to take pictures. But a fan came up and tried to get an autograph from David Robinson. Now, granted, this is not the time because once you do it for one fan, you already know, the book, if you give a mouse a cookie, right? He's going to want some milk. If you do it for one fan, then every fan's going to think, oh, shoot, well, I had some from memorabilia. Let me get him to sign it as well. Let's see what happens here. Yo, that's nasty work. This man came and said, you know what? Can I get an autograph? He said, no, it's a lot of people. He said, bet. Dropped it.
Bang, bang, bang.
Dropped it. He literally dropped the jersey right in front of him. Right in front of him. That is nasty work. Do you hear me? Nasty work. Let's look. We got to review the film. Run
that back, Turbo.
So he comes up to him, right? He's like, no, you want to sign this? He's like, no, it's a lot of people. You see this? You see him do this right here. Like, it's a lot of people. I got a lot of people to go through. No. He did it in a very polite, professional way, right? Like, hey, no, it's a lot of people. I've seen a lot of different stars in the past. Like, they are, a little bit more rude and be like, nah, fam, like, I'm not doing that right now. Dave Robinson, of course, being a little older, a little bit more seasoned, if you will, did it in the right way. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows that there's cameras out there. There's, people watching, and anything that you do, you know what I'm saying, because of his spotlight and because of his status, it can always be taken the wrong way, right? So he was like, no, we gonna keep it chill, right? I'm not gonna do that because if I do it for you, I gotta do it for all these other people. This man then looks him off, and then boom, right there, like, forget it. Now here's the thing about it though. If you gonna do something like that, then be a man about it. I don't like, and maybe I'm tripping. Let me know if I'm being nitpicky here, y'all. But you drop it, right? Let me back it up a little bit, right? So you drop it, but then he walks off real fast. Like, you drop it, and then it's like, pew! Like, why you walking so fast, bruh? Like, why you get scared? Like, you gonna be a man about it and drop it in front of me, right? You gonna drop it in front of me, then you gonna go, like, I didn't see you walk that fast earlier. Like, what's that about, bruh? If you gonna be a man and try to be hard and do that, then stand, like, look, stand up in it, stand 10 toes. You know what I'm saying? Here's my thing. I think, and we've said this on the pregame before. When it comes to fan and celebrity interactions, y'all, we have to understand that at the end of the day, these celebrities are humans just like us. They have emotions just like us. And sometimes when we don't feel like doing something, they don't feel like doing something, right? And I feel as though like David Robinson didn't do anything to that fan that was disrespectful in this particular situation. He didn't do anything that was disrespectful. He said no. He told you the reason why. He honestly, all he had to say was no, not right now, and left it at that. But David Robinson actually gave you a um reason, if you will, of why I'm not going to do it. It's a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And you literally just drop his jersey like that. This reminds me of whenever players get traded, not even traded, but they ask for a trade or they leave a team for free agency, and then everybody wants to go viral on their videos for lighting their jerseys on fire. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, y'all? Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing that? So yeah, I saw that and I was like, yo, like, come on, bruh. Like, what? Why? Like, why do we have to? Why do we have to be like that? Why do we have to get upset when we hear the word no? Like, bro, go to therapy. Go to therapy, pray about it. But that's just not the way to respond to something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I saw that. I thought that was wild. Let me know in the chat if I'm tripping on that. If I'm tripping on, him doing something like that, it's pretty wild. So yes, and I completely agree. He can't sell it if it's not signed. So what's the reason that you're really upset? Like if you're a true fan, you like, okay, maybe not right now, but I'm gonna try to double back. You know what I'm saying? Like for people who like, let's use the Panthers for an example. You may not get Bryce Young on the first time, right? He may say, nah, not right now. But what you gonna do if you're a true fan and you really want that signature for yourself, you know what I'm saying? For your man cave, for whatever it may be, you gotta double back. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't take no for an answer for the you gotta keep trying. But you're trying to get a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? He an NBA legend, a legend, Hall of Famer. Yeah, you're trying to get a check. You were trying to get a check. And David knows, Dave Robinson knows. Um, Good question. Is it privilege? Uh yeah. I think it depends on, I mean, that's a whole different conversation. I think sometimes it's definitely privilege. I think fans, it's a fan privilege. I'm not going to get into another type of privilege for right now, but I think it's fan privilege. I feel like fans feel as though that celebrities, let's use athletes for right now, owe them something. You know what I mean? They owe them. They have the right to get a signature, and it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Just like you don't feel like doing things in your day-to-day life, sometimes they don't feel like doing things. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep in mind that like once you open that door, you know what I'm saying? Then you're gonna have to do that for everybody or more people than just you, right? Everybody's watching. Shout out to Dave Robinson for handling that the right way because it could have went south. But shout out to him for handling it the right way. And it's okay to brush him off at the end. Like, yeah, forget that. I thought that was very interesting. But shout out to Dave Robinson and fans, we got to do better. As a fandom, we have to do better, y'all. If we get a no, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I know we are not used to rejection. We don't like rejection, but it's okay. I promise you, you will live. I promise you, you will live. All right. So the other thing I want to do, I have a new segment that I want to try tonight, and it's called Pregame Playlist, right? So, here at the Pregame, we talk about everything from sports to pop culture. We love music as well. And one thing I want to do is I don't know if I'm gonna do it like literally do it. And if y'all rock with the idea, then we can literally do it. But right now, I'm gonna bring up different music, whether it's me, whether it's Shad, whether it's Vashti, and we're gonna bring up different music at times. This is not gonna be an every week thing. It's gonna be every now and then. But what we have to do is, as a pregame gang, we have to agree, or majority of us have to agree, whether this particular song would make it on our pregame playlist, right? And when I say pregame play, I'm talking about like our playlist, not like if you're going to a pregame, because today's song, I don't know if it'll make an actual pregame because it's a little slower. You know what I'm saying? When you go into a pregame, you got the turn up music. You got the vibes. You know what I'm saying? This was a little slow. But this is a new artist, fairly new. I think she got Billboard Artist of the Month in February of 2025. So fairly new, if you will. She actually she went viral last year for her song Pookie's Requiem. And this is Sailor. It's Sailor with two R's at the end. And she's Vietnamese American. And I think it's very curious. It's very interesting because I heard the song first before I saw her. And it's very interesting because whenever I find an artist, there's a lot of artists out here like this, but when their voice does not necessarily match up with how they look, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like when I saw what she looked, I was like, "Dang, it did not. You did not sound how you look." You know what I mean? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hear like I'm only gonna play like a minute of it. You know, YouTube be tripping. But I'm gonna play the video so you can see what she looks like and play the song. And I want y'all to know, like WL, like is this a dope song? Is this a pregame playlist type of thing? I see some people in the chat already saying she's cool. Y'all like her, all those different things. But this is my jam. I catch myself going back to the song. So I was like, yo, would this make it on the pregame playlist? So let's check it out.
You ain't even gotta impress me. If the main goal is to undress me, that's the only thing that I'm addressing. At the Hollywood like you inventing, as if you wasn't eating me for breakfast. Stop talking to me, listen when I'm venting. I'm the one who mess up on your bedding. You're pointing fingers at me like I'm selfish, but you only call me when you're alone. And every time I take you back, I'm not afraid of the whole fact that you gon' leave away from home. Am I the ending in your map? Like what's the point of coming back? Down bad, ain't it sad? I want something that can last. Oh, tattoos matching, make me snort while I'm laughing. Put me on your lap while we in the backseat. Black truck over to the places we eat. I'ma make it better.
Hey, what y'all think? Let me know what you think. Hey, let me know what y'all think. I like it. I like it. It's gas. Yo, I think that one, first off, you know me, visuals. I like to look at the song with the visuals, so I always say that every time. Also lyrics, you know what I'm saying? You got to pay attention to the lyrics. I like her flow. She sounds great. She can sing. I'm very curious to see like if she can withstand the feeling of the newness. You know, everybody likes her because she's new. You haven't heard anything like this, but I thought it was dope. Like it's a nice little vibe to it. Um, I could like it's a song that I played in the car. I played with like at a pregame with the people over at the house. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a song that I really rock with. So, oh, first off, shout out to my guy Ricky.
Hey, say gang.
He said, "Who was that?" That was Sailor. Sailor is Sailor with two R's. She's a new artist um on the horizon. I think she came out maybe last year, like late last year. She was famous, I think, on TikTok for the song Pookie's Requiem. If you haven't heard it, it's a really, really good song as well. But I like this song. So she has a EP, I think it's like 5 or 6 songs. It came out March 28th, I wanna say it was. And I actually just got hip to it maybe like last week or the week before. And I heard the song and I was like, "Wait a minute, like this is nice. I like this." So yeah, somebody that I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on. And you know me, I always like to try my best to support new artists, local artists. I think that there's so many talented people in this world that you can't just stop and listen to the same old people. You know what I mean? Now, granted, I still love the Drakes, the Kendricks, the J. Cole's, all those different people. I love all of it, right? But you can't just stop there, y'all. You gotta explore your horizons and listen to a lot of different things. And I can go like my taste in music is all the way from country all the way to rock. I listen to everything because I appreciate art, true art. And yeah, shout out to Sailor, yo. So does it make the pregame playlist, y'all? Like, is this something that we can say we put the pregame stamp of approval? This is the a pregame playlist type of vibe. Y'all let me know in the chat. Y'all let me know in the chat. All right, so let's get into some content. Let's see. Where do I want to start? I think I'll start off with Mike Malone, and then we'll get into the starting lineup. So, for those who are new, If y'all just coming in, make sure you hit that like, comment, subscribe button. Also, we're gonna do a starting lineup tonight of top 5 ludicrous songs. All right, top 5 ludicrous songs. And one thing that I will not tolerate tonight is any ludicrous slander. All right, I'm not tolerating any ludicrous slander tonight. All right, so top 5 ludicrous songs. All right, so let's get into some content. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is this Mike Malone firing, right? Mike Malone, if you don't know who he is, he's the head coach of the Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets won the championship 2 years ago, y'all. 2 years ago. Literally 2 years ago. And they have fired the GM as well, Calvin Booth, who was responsible for bringing in Nikola Jokic, for drafting a lot of their players that they have, right? They fired both of them. Now, granted, before, I saw a lot of people on social media, especially Twitter, in an outrage of like, I don't understand the NBA and how they do different things. Why would they do that? And the way that I always look at it, when something big like this happens, i.e., Luka Doncic getting traded, I always know that there has to be, and maybe we'll never find out. And if we don't find out, that we're not meant to find out. But there's always something bigger. It's a bigger story. It's a bigger underlying thing that really constitutes that particular person being fired, traded, released, whatever it may have been, right? Same thing happened with I can't think of old boy's name. Deontay Johnson, excuse me. Same thing happened to Deontay Johnson, right? He gets traded and everybody's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then finally it starts to come out. What's going on? It starts to unravel the reasons why they did all that. The truth will unveil itself, right? The truth will unveil itself. I think the interesting thing about it and the conversation I want to have around this is one thing that we are starting to see a lot more. And y'all know I'm big on trends. You know what I mean? Like, I like to see the trends of how things happen. Like if it happens multiple times and it's consistent, then it becomes a trend, right? And also the trends between like how owners are starting to truly get involved, maybe too early, to each his own. Your opinion. This is my opinion, not yours. But a lot of people get involved a little too early. A lot of owners get involved a little too early and start to make drastic decisions in hopes to jolt their team to a victory, right? One thing I'll always say is owners are owners for a reason. You own the team. This is your team. You put in all those millions and billions and trillions of dollars to buy this team. This is your team. You are the boss. You are the big boss. And yes, you do have responsibility in terms of making sure that this team is very successful, right? However, unless you're a Jerry Jones, which I know how I feel about Jerry Jones, I'm not even gonna get into that. I'm not gonna shoot him up today, right? I'm not gonna shoot him up today. But you are responsible for making sure that team is successful and reaches their goals, whatever you say that goal is that particular year. However, you hire coaches to do coach things. You hire coaches to be successful, to lead the team, and to do those basketball or football things. As an owner, you are paying those people to do those things, right? Now, here's the part that is very interesting to me. Denver was not doing bad this year at all. And so when I look at that, I'm like, okay, I could see if the Denver Nuggets were not going to make the playoffs or they're in the play-in after 2 years after winning the championship, but they're fourth. They are fourth in the Western Conference. They're making the playoffs. They have a great seed in the playoffs, and they were good. You have the Joker, right? Who is arguably the best player in the NBA right now. So what is it? Why? Right? And so now we're starting to see whether we want to say it's the truth or whether we want to say that it is rumors, but now things are starting to come out slowly by sure. It's like an onion. You peel it layer by layer by layer. And we're starting to see a lot of different things come out, whether it is a press conference where Mike Malone said that the players were full of crap, or the fact that he had an affinity to what Russell Westbrook, and Russell Westbrook wasn't doing well, but Mike Malone always played him or started him or gave him too many minutes. Things are starting to come out. All I'm going to say to you all, and I hope that you all hear what I'm going to say here and take this and apply it to any particular news that comes out. There is always a bigger reason or a underlining meaning behind every decision that happens in the NFL or in the NBA. If it's drastic, if it's a drastic change, something has happened, right? And whether we will figure out or not, we'll find out. But I want y'all to think about that and not get too emotional when things like this happen, where it's like, oh wow, like I'm shocked. What's going on? Something happened. Something happened. And that's how I feel about the Luka Doncic thing. Now, y'all know me, Laker gang or don't bang. I am a Laker fan, but I knew something happened within that organization, within the Dallas Mavericks, for them to trade Luka Doncic. Now, granted, I've read some articles around the ownership and the new owner and a lot of different things and them trying to move the team and somebody else doesn't want to move. It's a lot of different things around that too. But something is always a meaning behind it. Mike Malone is a very he is very, how I want to put this, he's a very interesting head coach. I'll say interesting for right now. He's a very interesting head coach. He has said, like, we knew he does not he can't stand the Lakers, right? And he is very vocal. He's a very vocal head coach. He will say what he means. He will not hold his tongue. He will wear his emotions on his sleeve. And we've heard that the way he talks about his players, all those different things. All we know is the owner said that they hope that this will jolt the team. We'll find out. Now, granted, that they played last night. Granted, they played the Sacramento Kings, who were 39-41, but they played the Sacramento Kings and they looked great. You know what I mean? They looked really good. We'll find out what happens in the playoffs, which is right around the corner. But if they lose early in these playoffs, that owner has a lot of explaining to do. He's going to have a lot of explaining to do. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen. This is a crazy fall off, which is why I named it the fall off. Another reason why I named it the fall off. But could you imagine, like, the being up 2 years ago, winning the championship with that team, to now you're out of a job? Like that team then fires you 2 years later, and the GM 2 years later. It's wild. Like, you literally clean house in season right before the playoffs. They have to have a plan, right? And I hope they have a plan, and I hope they know what they're doing, because if not, this is going to look really, really bad. Really bad. All right. So before we get into some football information, some football news, I say football information, football news, I want to do pregame starting lineup. So y'all know Luda, 25 years. This is 25th anniversary being in the rap game. So technically, like, I grew up with Luda. You know what I mean? I grew up with Luda. You know what I mean? I remember his first song, his first out, all those different things, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, but I feel as though that Luda is completely underrated. I feel like he does not get the credit he deserves for his versatility on the mic, his flows, his hits. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it went number one or not, this man has hits upon hits upon hits, literally. And that was seen during the pandemic on Versus when he went against Nelly. Everybody had Nelly winning that Versus, except, well, I'm not gonna say just me, but I had Luda winning next. I was like, yo, Luda's bag, his catalog. I'm not even talking about his features, y'all. I'm talking about his songs are. I think he was. I said he was going to bleed Nelly out. He's going to bleed Nelly out, and that's exactly what we saw happen, right? And so I don't think that Luda gets the credit he deserves. And it reminds me, and let me know, this might not be a good like example or comparison, if you will, but I'm gonna try this, right? It reminds me of Missy Elliott. And hear me before you say chill, Carlo. They're two different artists. Yes, Missy Elliott makes her own beats. She does a lot, all those different things. But what I mean is, Missy does not get the credit she deserves, in my opinion, as well, because their personality and their art is built upon humor, right? Like Missy's music videos were funny. She was always doing something, hilarious or trying something outlandish, whether it be like beads on her face, that I can't stand the rain in the costume. Like you knew her to be outlandish, to be very creative in her videos. And Luda did the same thing, right? Everybody remembers Luda's big heads in the video, wearing the little person on a necklace. You know what I'm saying? He did a lot of outlandish creative things. And I think people put those type of artists in a box and don't necessarily respect them for their craft of flows, of bars, of different types of songs. And I feel like that kind of put him in a box. I feel as though he is completely underrated and does not get the credit, the true credit that he deserves. My opinion, my humble opinion. All right. So I went through when I thought about this the other day, and I sent it to Shad and Vashon and everything. I was like, yo, we should do a top five, Ludacris songs. And so, of course, like, in order to do a top five, the way that I do it, I'm giving y'all a little taste of the background stuff. I don't look at any articles, any Billboard charts, or anything. I pick it off of what I like, and I go back and listen to their catalog if we're going to do an artist. And man, I started going through his catalog, and I was like, yo, this man has hits upon hits upon hits. This is difficult. This is extremely difficult, but we're going to do it because here at the Pregame podcast, that's what we do, right? So we're going to do starting lineup. So what I want to do, let me take this off. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with honorable mentions. I got to start off with honorable mentions first. I think for me, an honorable mention, and this was tough. This was a tough one because I listened to this song so much that like it literally could have been my top five, but I had to make a drastic decision. But number one spot off of the Red Light District album with the Austin Powers sample, Gas. That's how I can like to this day, because I'm a music head, but to this day I could go back and I can rap those lyrics through and through. I could rap it, right? But yes, number one spot, honorable mention for sure. So if y'all got an honorable mention, make sure y'all drop it in the chat as well. I want to see your honorable mentions. Number five for me is Move. Move, bitch. Get out the way. Get out the way. Bruh, first off, that song to this day still bangs. And the fact that everybody like has had or still do road rage when you're telling somebody to move out the way. Move out the way. The beat's fire, his lyrics are fire, like everything he was saying in there, everybody has felt that way, right? So Move is definitely yes, my honorable mention is number one spot. Yes, I'm sorry. Like this is my top five, y'all. My top five. Mine. So yeah, I got that as my okay, so you got Move as number five too. Okay, cool. Number you say I see Get Back. Get Back didn't make my top five, but that's another honorable mention for me. Really good song. So shout out to that. Number four, I'm a cheat, y'all. I got two at number four. I had to, because these two could not make my top five. So I was like, let me put a slash on here, a little forward slash, so that I can put this in my top five. First one, Roll Out. Roll Out. Gas. Roll Out, fire. So I had to get that in there. So I got my two Glock 40s. Cop that. Yes, Roll Out, fire. So number four is Roll Out for me. And then my other number four is Saturday. If y'all remember that one. Sticky Icky. Ooh, ooh. Sticky Icky. Gas. That's on fire. First off, Saturday's music video. If you have not seen that music video, bro, make sure that's when he had the big head. Like it was a different. I was like, yo, that video really like made Ludacris like stand out from all the other rappers during that time, right? First off, he was light-skinned rapper, and that's what shocked everybody, but that's what really stood out. So yes, Saturday, Gas. Oh my God, this is a tough one, man. This was a tough one. Diamond in the Back, that's my jam. That's an honorable mention for sure. Diamond in the Back was gas. Uh, Having him doing a slow song, sampling Diamond in the Back. Oh my gosh. Yes, absolutely, Ricky. Diamond in the Back was fire. Fire. Another one for me, number three. Number three is What's Your Fantasy? Now, yes, Carla was young. Shouldn't have been listening to What's Your Fantasy, but that was a jam. It was all over the radio, and Carlo listened to it, and Carlo likes it. What's Your Fantasy was fire. I always appreciate when rappers can have different things to talk about. Now, granted, we all know what he was talking about in that song, but that beat to this day is still fire. His flow on that song was crazy. What's Your Fantasy? Is definitely fire. It ain't bad as P popping. If y'all know, if you know, you know from BET Uncut days. And I'm not saying it's that bad. I'm not saying it's that bad, but yes, What's Your Fantasy was definitely a song. Was definitely fire. Yes, that Curtis Mayfield sample, Ricky, absolutely, bro. Like it was beautiful, beautifully made. And I appreciate an artist who can do like rappers who can do their choruses as well. And Luda was known for a good chorus. He had a good hook, and a lot of his songs. It was catchy, it was memorable, and you're singing it whether you're in a car, whether you're at home, wherever. Like you remember his hooks. So I thought that was pretty fire. All right, so we get into the last two. Number two for me, which was close, man. This was a close one, but it was good. Pimping All Over the World. The fancy cars, the women in the caviar, bruh. What? Gas, gas. That song was fire. It was dope. Um, and the fact that he was like talking about all the different women and going to different places, whether it was Brazil, whether it was Africa, all these different places, and talk about all the women around the world. The beat was it was nice. So my sister said, I'm telling mama, chill out, chill on me, all right, chill on me. But yeah, Pimpin' All Over the World was definitely a dope song. And the video was cool too. The video, if you haven't seen the video was really, really cool too. But I gotta get into our number one song, man. My number one, I think the reason I got this one number one is to this day, the beats fire, the chorus is fire, the words, his flow, and everything. And I feel like this is the one that really, to me personally, put him on the map. I think it put him on the map, in my opinion. Hey, bro, Southern Hospitality. I'll stop right there for YouTube. Get me Southern Hospitality. The 20-inch ride, 20, bro. Come on, man. That song to this day, for me, is Ludacris's. That's my number one. That's my number one. I still say that everybody was throwing them bows. Everybody knew throw them bows. Like he created that particular moment where if you're around people and that song comes on, everybody, when you get on the float, throw them bows. Like everybody was throwing them bows at one point in time. So yeah, number one spot. I told you it was an honorable mention for me. I see a lot of people with number one spot up there. Really, really, really good song. But Southern Hospitality to this day, to this day, is definitely fire. So Southern Hospitality for me. All right. So let's get into the main course of today, which is talking about the fall off and draft fatigue, right? And it's some reason I want to talk about this is because I have seen a lot of players become polarizing towards when we get closer to the draft versus like how it was when we first started like this whole draft experience. And it makes me think about like, do we start like as fans or just as do we, granted there's a lot of players to draft and everything, but do we start too early sometimes? Because it's very curious to me of like, let's use T Mac for an example, right? Everybody says when the season's in, whether you're watching college ball, high school ball, NFL, or whatever, right? The underlining law, like word is law statement is the film doesn't lie. And everybody has said that, and I agree. You know what I mean? Like I've watched film and all those different things. You know what I'm saying? Like I agree with the film doesn't lie. But I don't know if people get bored, if people just want something to talk about. But it's crazy how things start to really fall off with certain players, right? Like you look at this film, and when you first saw the film, you looked and you said, "This guy is a really good player," right? And then you look at the film, and then you look at production, right? You look at stats, and you're like, "Wow, this many yards, this many touchdowns, this many catches," and then you start looking at the percentages of where they were. Let's use an example for the wide receivers. Oh, this percentage was in a slot. This percentage was outside. This percentage, whatever. And then, like you were saying, like at first, it was, hey, he is the number one receiver outside of Travis Hunter, right? Travis Hunter, we can say we all know about Travis. We know that. But this guy is a bona fide wide receiver one. And then out of nowhere, as we get closer and closer and closer to the draft, it's the fall off, right? Now we don't know if he's gonna make it in the first round. He may not, he may be in the top 20, top 25. Before it was like he's a top five, hands down. Like we could literally go back and look at the Mel Coppers, the Todd McShays, the Phil Yates, all these different people who are on these huge networks where a lot of people who know ball or who don't know ball are watching, and people are saying, "Oh my gosh, this person is this, that, and the third." And then I know we're like, I don't know. I don't know if he has the chops, Phil. I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. He's a polarizing player. Like, is it draft fatigue, or is the truth starting to truly unveil itself? And I feel as though that there are some players where draft fatigue exists, right? I.e., I feel as though Ted McMillan is a great wide receiver, like great wide receiver. We gotta stop. What's Kai saying? Stop doing that. Like we gotta stop doing that, y'all. Like he is a great wide receiver. And then like Mason Graham. Oh, I don't like it was going from like 4 at Michigan, great defensive tackle, high motor, great skills, great pass rusher, all those different things. And then I know where it's kind of like, oh, we don't know. He may fall. We're not stop doing that. Like we have to stop doing that, y'all. Now, granted, there are some players where the truth starts to really unveil itself, right? And a lot of those are usually off the field where you start to hear character concerns, whether it be the James Pierce Juniors or the Mike Greens, right? Or the Isaiah Bonds. And I think one thing that I want to say, and I've said this on the pregame before, is like I really wish y'all that the NFL, and I'm gonna use Xavier Worthy for an example here, but I really wish that they would really set up some type of program for rookies, to let them know the dangers of what they're doing off the field and how that could affect them from a brand perspective, from a money perspective, and all those different things. And also, like, if I had to say anything to some of these players, and y'all may not ever watch this, rookies, but one thing I want to say is like everybody can't go. And what I mean by that is like you got your homeboys, you got your people that you were always around and that held you down, all those different things. And I get that. And you definitely want to have your day ones around. You definitely want to have your day ones around. But everybody can't go, y'all. Like if you know that that person is not good for you, or they're gonna put you in weird situations, i.e., the John Morant's, right? And they're gonna put you in these weird positions. Like everybody can't go, and it's okay. It's okay. It does not make you a bad person. It does not make you, uppity because you made it and you dropping them. But like, know how to distance yourself and not put yourself in situations where things happen. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's just on their part. Like everybody has responsibility in certain situations. I'm gonna get off my pedestal, but I just want to say that like just surround yourself with the right people. Surround yourself with the right people. But I think the truth starts to truly unveil itself, um, in terms of character concerns and off the field situations. I think at the end of the day, draft fatigue, mock draft fatigue is definitely a thing for fans. I don't think it's a thing when it comes to GMs. I feel as though that they already have majority of the teams already know exactly who they're drafting or who is on that number one spot. Shout out to Ludacris, who's in that number one spot for them. And Dan Morgan said this in a press conference before. He said, "Hey, we've already had our conversations. We know what our draft board looks like. We have our list. Coming to the combine is just to solidify that for us. Nobody's coming to the combine. No GM is coming to the combine not having an idea of who they want to draft. They're never going to come in and say, you know what? We just gonna find out when we get here and go off vibes. Unless you're Jerry Jones. So, but everybody has they have some type of strategy around who they're interested in, why they're interested in them. They've already done some research, but now I get to go face to face and have those conversations. Now, granted, it's been a lot of times where you have that number one person, you meet them and you realize, I'm not sure for whatever reason it may be. Maybe they didn't answer a question right. Maybe they did not have the love of football that they're looking for. That's one thing the Panthers are huge on. They're big on culture. Are you a culture fit or however you want to say it? Or are you really like a lover of football? Do you do this for love of football or you do this for the love of money? Right? They're big on that. But yeah, also great point, Chaz. I think it's draft fatigue. Will Johnson has been falling. Will Johnson was the number one corner, well, number two with Travis, but he was up there, right? Like everybody was so big on Will, but now like it's the draft fatigue. We see these things happen. I told you I'm big on trends, y'all. We see this happen every single year, and I think I'm just tired of it. Like I'm tired of seeing this draft fatigue. That's probably one reason why I love. Look, we talked about mock drafts on here before. I enjoy looking at them. Yes. Do I look at mock drafts? Yes. Do I do them? No. But do I watch them? Yes. Like I look at all mock drafts. Ricky's mock drafts. First off, Ricky, if y'all look, let me stop right here real quick and plug this real quick. Ricky and team are coming out with a big board document that's going to list, I think, over 200 and something players that they have done research on, watched film, and talked about the fit in terms of how they will fit with the Panthers. So if you're a Panthers fan, that's coming out soon. Make sure you support them. Go look at it. Go check it out. Give them feedback. They didn't get paid to do this. They did this off the love, the muscle, the strength of being a lover of football and a knower of football. So yeah, I just got to shout that out. But I think that it's really draft fatigue. People just get tired or just want to create something to talk about. And everyone says they have a source. You know what I mean? Like my sources say this, a NFC, AFC exec said this. We don't know what's true or what's not. And then also we've talked about this on a podcast before. A lot of the information that we do see does not necessarily mean it comes from the NFL. It could come from the agent as well, especially if it's something like, hey, this person is now a top 10 pick. Okay. We didn't hear this before. So is it the agent? You know what I'm saying? Is the agent trying to hype them up? And if this is the agent, shout out to the agent, W agent, right? But I think that we just have to relax as fans and let the cards play. Yes, you can be excited about X player and do all those different things, but it's interesting. Another thing that's very, very interesting is Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe getting invited and accepting an invite to Green Bay to attend the draft. So we talked about, and the reason I want to bring up Jalen Milroe because we talk about the fall off of the T-Macs, the Will Johnsons, the James Pierces, the Mike Greens. Now, unfortunately, the Isaiah Bonds. We're gonna see all these people fall off, majority for either character concerns, even though like if you've seen, if you haven't seen it, it's a really good documentary. It's on the Game Network, but T-Mac has a documentary called Nalo's Path to Draft, and it really shows his character. Hey, he would be a great person, a great human, a great character. Like his character would fit so well with the Panthers. I won't hold you. Like if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a really good documentary. It comes out I think it's like 6-7 episodes. I think he's on episode 5 or something. It's really, really good. So it's no character concerns from the T-Mac standpoint, right? Of course, we have the film situation. Granted, he was a lot younger when that came out. I hope that he explains himself eventually, but no character concerns there. But it's I think it's just really draft fatigue. And another thing is like Luther Burden. Luther Burden is another one, y'all. Like Luther Burden is another one who has a fall off. And I feel as though Luther Burden is a great player, a slot, but a great player. We saw what he did. We know he didn't have a good quarterback. We know they used him differently. And the quarterback was so bad that they had to throw a lot of screens or a lot of just quick passes. That's a whole nother conversation, right? But as players fall off, whether it be character concerns, draft fatigue, what have you, a lot of players start to come up. And like if one person falls, it's like a pendulum, y'all. If one thing falls, another thing's coming up. And that two players I'll name for right now. And if y'all have any other players you want to talk about, throw it in the chat. But a lot of players like Jalen Milroe and Jackson Dart are starting to have some traction, if you will. And I'm like, whoa, like this is interesting. Jalen Milroe's going to the draft? Like, really? He's going to the draft? This person, like, I've seen so many different analysts say that he was going to be a second day 2 pick, day 3, if anything, late round 1. And now he's going to draft night. I think it was the first night. I think it's the first night. They haven't confirmed. So it could possibly be day 2, right? But the fact that he accepted, I think, is awesome. Which leads me to another question for everybody. We have seen the trend of a lot of top, call it, I don't know, top 15 players not attend the draft and have draft parties. If you or a family member was getting drafted, would y'all go and shake the commissioner's hand and walk across that stage, get your hat, take your pictures, get your interview? Or would you stay at home and do a draft party and make sure and have that dope draft couch? What would you do? What would you do? Me, I don't know. I think I got to go to the draft. If I know I'm a bona fide top 10 pick, I got to go around. Every kid when you were young, you always imagine like getting drafted, putting the hat on, shaking the commissioner's hand, holding up the jersey. Everybody played NBA 2K or Madden and got your my player and all those different things. Yeah, I got to have that experience because you only get to do it once, right? And then from there, I'll go home and have my draft party and do all those fun things. But I gotta walk across that stage. I have to walk across that stage and have that whole situation. Last thing I want to talk about tonight before we close is something I noticed, and I just want to see how y'all feel about it. And that's John Gruden, right? So John Gruden came out with a QB camp, right? And also we'll talk about Netflix, but a lot of things look the same here. And I was like, yo, what is going on with media, right? One thing that I appreciate about sports is the diversity of sports, right? And when I say diversity, I'm talking about the diversity of races, right? But I feel as though like media really missed on the particular content here with having no person of color on either thing, whether it be Netflix or John Gruden. Like John Gruden is bringing in some really good quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Like Will Howard, Riley Leonard. None of these people, in my opinion, except for possibly Jackson Dart, could go first round. And so at first my mind was like, okay, is he trying to bring light to some of the other quarterbacks who may not go first round? But when I think about it and I look at all the other quarterbacks who are coming out in this draft, there are a lot of other quarterbacks of color, i.e. Jalen Milroe, who could have been on this particular QB class. And I was like, this is a miss, in my opinion, John Gruden, because like I wish that there were people in the room, whether it be your PR person or whatever, to say, hey, like we need to add a little color here. We need to add a little diversity here. You shouldn't have one of too much of a particular race. Like you need to, you gotta have some diversity here, John. I know you're feeling nicey, but you're doing something that's dicey. You know what I mean? Like, I wish somebody was in the room with him to say that. I think that's a big miss on his team's part, not to have some type of diversity in the room. And then also, like, Netflix, right? Like, I looked at this, and granted, like, I am excited, and yes, I'm going to watch. I've seen all the different Netflix documentaries. This going to be very curious. I'm very excited to see what the Kirk Cousins benching is going to look like on film. But also, like, there are some we know all the other quarterbacks that are in the NFL. I don't have to list them all. And maybe, just maybe, because I talked about it earlier in terms of having the context and understanding that there is a underlying meaning behind everything that happens. So I'm saying this with grace and understanding that piece. Maybe they reached out to all these different quarterbacks and they asked them and they said no. That could be true. That could be very true. However, we do not know right now. So all I can go off of is all the information that I know, right? And the information that I know is that Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins, and Jared Goff will be the quarterbacks. Only three. And I feel like, though, like, it's important to have people in the room that look at this and say, hey, something doesn't look right. We got to have some diversity in here, especially if majority of the biggest percentage is people of color in the NFL. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I just want to call that out because I haven't seen anybody talk about it yet. But I thought it was very interesting that happened. Hopefully they do better. But I thought that was interesting. Last thing, I said it was the last thing, but I want to talk about this new playoff rule, the overtime, that both teams get an opportunity to possess the ball in overtime. WL on this. Are y'all excited about this? I know Josh Allen probably excited about it because he lost to Patrick Mahomes a few times in overtime. But WL, do y'all think this is a good idea? Do you think that this will help out, kind of having the college feel of both teams getting a possession? And then if it's tied after each team has possessed the ball, the next score wins. I think it's very interesting. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with this, if this is going to work. I know they're going to change the kickoff as well, starting at the 35 if you kick it out of bounds. So they want to make sure that the game is entertaining and all those different things. I'm excited about it. I think it'd be cool. We'll see. It's one of those we'll see situations, right? Like, I know they always try to do things to make it more entertaining. All I'm saying is don't go to 18 games, man. Like, give these players a break. That's just my my humble opinion. Give these players a break. Yo, I see people in chat. It's an L move. I thought it was a dope move. Like, get out. It's more football for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more football to watch, especially like those overtime games. Most of them, not all of them, are entertaining somewhat. You know what I mean? So it's more football for us. Like, one thing, yes, I'm a Panthers fan through and through. Y'all know this. I ain't got to explain myself. But I love football and I watch all the teams, right? I love sports. I watch it all. So yeah, more stuff for us to watch, right? More teams play, and it's like, yo, you got to stop them. You score, now your defense got to go do something. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. Yo, this was fun. Before I close, anybody got any this is an engagement moment, so don't leave me hanging. It's an engagement moment. Anybody got any options of what our starting lineup should be next week? What should we do? What is a good starting lineup for us next week? I'm gonna wait. Also, pregame playlist. If there's a song, an artist, y'all know we did I think it was last week or the week before, when we reviewed Monty Westside Fetty's song, right? He didn't reach out to me. That was just me hearing a song and wanted to react to it. But if there's any video, whether it be a funny video, sports related, pop culture related, music related, that you want us to react to, get our thoughts on, a movie, a show like Paradise or White Lotus or Severance, whatever it may be, if you want us to react to it, we can do that. That's the fun thing around the Pregame podcast, because it's your fusion of sports and pop culture. We talk about everything. Just like if you had a pregame, hanging out with your fellas, hanging out with your girls, hanging out with everybody, the conversations that happen are not always around one particular thing, right? They're around a lot of, like, it's so many different topics that may come up, which relates to what this podcast is about. It's so, like, we're going to talk about a little bit of everything. And so you'll get some information, you'll get some laughs, you'll get some crazy takes, but that's what it's all about. It's all in fun. So make sure y'all pull up with us. I see them coming in right now. Let's see, top tag teams, top fast food burgers. Ooh, top fast food burgers is good. Top fast food fries. Okay. Top 5 desserts. I feel like, did we do top 5 desserts already? I don't know if we did top 5 desserts. Shout out to Severance, page 197 slaps. That was my favorite. That was one of my favorite parts. It's between top fast food burgers or top fast food fries. I'm gonna have to talk to the team and figure out what we want to do. But I like both of those. I like both of those for sure. Oh, top 5 Panther receivers. That's easy. Yeah, we could do it. I mean, I think everybody's gonna have the same type of answers for Panther receivers. Yeah, we'll figure it out, but I like it. So if y'all have, like, make sure y'all even if you're gonna watch this later, if you're not live with us right now and you're watching this later, make sure you drop in the comment section if you have any ideas that you want to see on the pregame. If you ever want to come on and hang out with us and vibe with us, right? Always drop something in the chat like, yo, Carl, I got something to say, and I'll drop you that link in the chat. You come rock with us, say your thoughts. You ain't gotta stay the whole time. You can say your piece, your little rant, and pop off. You know what I mean? Also, keep in mind we have some different collabs coming up soon too. Nashad, the agent, already reached out to me again. He's interested in coming back on. We have to wait a certain amount of days after he signs all his contracts for his clients before he can come back on and talk about them. But when I say he was in the weeds, like he was working this particular free agency. So I'm excited to hear like what happened, why it happened, how it happened. And so if y'all have any questions for Nashad, the NFL agent, about like how free agency works and all those different things, drop in the chat, DM me, whatever it may be. I'm happy to do so. But we're working on a few other people as well that'll be on. I'm not sure if it'll be live. It may be recorded, but we're working. Just know if you don't hear from us that we are working. We got a lot of things in the works. I want to bring on some guests as well. Again, so Ricky, we got to bring Ricky back. We got to get a lot of different people that I want to bring on to talk things outside of just Panther stuff, So if y'all have any ideas of people that you want us to collab with, definitely reach out to me. Let me know so I can reach out to them. But man, look, it's enough room for everybody to eat, and I enjoy doing this. This is fun, and I know they do too. And so it's always good to bring people together, joint efforts, and have a good time. So that's all I got for y'all today. We'll be back next Thursday. Also, I want to let y'all know right now, the 24th, I will not be going live on the 24th for the draft. I may be joining PNP's live stream, so make sure y'all come rock with us there. So I may be over there, TBD. But because a lot of things going on that day, I will not be going live that week. It's all good. Who knows? I may go live on a Saturday or Sunday if I'm feeling it. I want to talk about it. But that's why it's always good to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. So whenever we do go live, you won't miss it. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Thank you for pulling up on me. I appreciate your pregame gang.
Hey, say gang.
I appreciate y'all. We out of here. Peace.